Now, we've been talking about the impact of Brexit this morning. Now, leading pharmaceutical firms say that stockpiling medicines will not be enough to guarantee the supply of vital drugs if the UK leaves the EU without a deal.
Industry leaders say the government needs to do more to prepare for any disruption at ports, but the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, says plans are in place to make sure supplies will continue. Our health correspondent, Catherine Burns, reports.
That was a good goal.
Shiv is 7 and his big passion is football.
No, we go to school.
We go to school now.
But he struggles to play. He has a rare condition called Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy. Boys with it tend to be in a wheelchair before they're 12, lose the use of their arms in their teens, and then in their 20s their hearts can stop working.
It is life-limiting, and to be told that, it felt like we had been given a death sentence for our son.
And then Brexit comes along. That for us gives us even more sleepless nights than what Duchenne already does.
There's no cure for this condition yet. For now, Shiv takes steroids to try to keep his muscles stronger for as long as possible. But his parents are worried in case a no-deal Brexit would delay his drugs coming through. 2/3 of our medication comes from or via the EU. If the Prime Minister's deal goes through, the trade in medicines should continue seamlessly during a transition period. But there are plans in place in case that doesn't happen.
A no-deal scenario for the NHS will be difficult, but we are confident that if everybody does everything that they need to do, then we'll have an unhindered supply of medicines.
So the government has asked drug companies to store an extra 6 weeks' supply. This is the start of one stockpile, and the company says it's done everything possible to make sure patients get their medicines immediately after any no-deal Brexit. But there's a longer-term worry. Do you think Brexit will make the UK less of a priority when it comes to releasing new medication in the future?
Unfortunately, there's a high potential that might be the case. So you prioritize, America, Europe, where the big populations are, because you want to get your medicine, your innovative medicine, to the maximum number of patients possible. Now, the concern would be that the UK might fall down, theoretically, the kind of pecking order.
Countries with less purchasing power do have to wait for new medications. Switzerland tends to get them about 5 months later than the EU. The government says there's an awful lot of work to be done, but that it can happen. So patients shouldn't worry about getting their medicines if we have a no-deal Brexit. And also that we'll still have access to the best new medicines in the future. Some experts, though, are warning it might not be quite so straightforward.
Politicians must remember that these drugs save people's lives. They extend people's lives. They make sure that people don't end up in hospital. So again, it's really important to make sure they recognise and remember that as part of the negotiation.
Okay, you want to count with me?
Shiv's parents are optimistic about better treatments or even a cure, but they need that to happen before he starts to decline.
Every minute counts, every day counts, and we simply just don't have that time to waste.
Catherine Burns, BBC News.